Hi, Robbie and Stephen. I'm Lauren with DCFilmGirls.com. How are you guys
Hey,
today?
Lauren, how are
Good, Lauren.
you?
Well, thank you.
Good, good. Stephen, I'm loving your hair right now. It's so much more grown out right now.
It's a true story.
Yeah, well, congratulations to the two of you on this film. I'm so excited for fans to see it. And I particularly loved that your characters, Connor and Garrett, were interacting more and kind of getting along more in this film. And I'm curious, when you guys were growing up as cousins, did you always get along or did you kind of have little spats and arguments here and there?
We were really close when we were young. I always looked up to Steve, and I remember, like going to his place to play video games or to swim.
Yep.
And then there's a 7-year age gap, so there was a little bit of time where, there wasn't a ton in common, and we would just see each other at like family dinners a couple times a year. We actually got into acting separately, individually, and just met up back in LA and became, fast friends again. And it's been great getting to work with family, and having that chemistry and shorthand with somebody it just makes the job a lot easier.
Absolutely. I've been a fan of the two of you for a long time. That's why I love the Code 8 film so much because it's so fun to see the two of you act together. I
Thank you.
actually read in the, yeah, of course. You're welcome. I read in the production notes that the K9 robotic dog was actually played by a stunt man. I think that's so cool. The visual effects look stunning. So how did that work, Stephen? Because it's such a huge part of this film with the K9. How did that work on set with you guys working with an actual stunt man?
Well, occasionally there was a stuntman. Occasionally we had a practical dog that couldn't move, and then occasionally you're just doing a scene with nothing there.
Yeah.
I actually didn't. I actually didn't really have to work with the dogs very much, if at all, other than dragging one around towards the end of the movie. But no, our visual effects team is extraordinary. When you read about the dog in the script, you get a little nervous, but then when you actually see the finished product, you're like, oh, okay, phew.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool that there was an actual practical kind of robotic character there. Your character interacts with the dog a lot more. So, like, what was your experience like, Robbie?
Oh man. Without spoiling too much, I have that essentially a fight scene with a K9, and it was pretty wild. I've got our stuntman in a gray suit with a light on his head and a bunch of green spots on him, and it's essentially a reference pass. So we'll do it in slow motion so the visual effects team can see where the camera's going, and if anything doesn't work or anywhere that I'm going to be grabbing onto the dog that's going to be way too expensive to try in visual effects. And then I have to do it with no one. So, there's a whole scene where, a dog is trying to inject me and I'm grabbing onto fake things and just hoping that the visual effects team will bail me out. And, we've been working with them since the short film. It's the same team from the short film to part 1 to part 2. And I have so much trust in what they do. I never even think about it, to be honest.
I love hearing that behind the scenes stuff. That's really cool. I know the two of you do a lot of your own stunts. Did any injuries end up happening on set or any like happy accidents ended up in the film? I know, Stephen, you've done tons of stunts throughout all of your filmography, but any time you got maybe injured or hurt?
Well, I mean, not in the second movie. The fight scene in the first movie where Robbie and I are fighting together, that beat me up.
Yeah.
That was a long day.
It was we kept doing it in oneers, and like it
Yeah.
was great. It was super fun, but and he's a big dude. The guy who played Rhino.
Yeah.
He is a monster, and he actually comes from a stunt background. He's a stunt actor, but it was awesome.
Very, very cool. That scene in the first film was definitely very electric between the two of you.
Thank
Stephen,
you.
I have to say, yeah, I'm a huge fan of heels. I
Oh,
interviewed your
thank you.
co-star Alex. Yes, I interviewed your co-star Alexander Ludwig for season 2, and season 2 was in my top 10 favorite TV series last year.
Oh, cool.
I'm hoping that we can see more of Jack and Ace in maybe a future season or a film. Do you think that would ever be a possibility?
I know that right now we are actively shopping it to land at a few different streamers. I think anyone can do the basic math on what those might be. And hopefully if it finds a landing spot and finds an audience, then maybe we get to make more.
I hope so, because that
Me too.
cliffhanger was brutal. That cliffhanger was brutal, and the fans need more Stephen.
Yeah, I don't want Jack to go out literally on his back.
No, please. I would be so sad. I definitely want more. Well, last question for the two of you. Is there a particular genre that the two of you would want to act together in the future? I could see you guys maybe in a Western, but I'd also be down for a romance.
I'd love to do a comedy. I
Yeah,
think Steve
comedy.
and I, we like to make each other laugh, and that would be a good time. I mean, we don't get to do that too much in Code 8. It's pretty serious, but
Speak for yourself.
yeah.
Your character's just laughing in his head internally.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Congratulations to the two of you. I think it's awesome that you were able to crowdfund so much for this particular film, and I know fans are going to be really excited about it. And Stephen, I'm hoping for a future Heels project in the next couple of years. It was an honor to chat with the both of you today.
Thank you so much.